Hey folks, welcome back to the big board. Gonna have a look at GD'40 or Grosse Deutschland 1940, where the French and the Germans fight it out for the village of Stone or Stone, depending on where you're from. You know, just saying, it could be like that. Anyway, TCS system from Multiman Publishing. It's a game system that I really enjoy. And interestingly enough, I pulled out the rule book to kind of do a quick gloss over to refresh my memory. I played probably enough to get the game right 80% of the time. And, you know, if I think something should be a certain way, typically I'm within the bounds of reason for it. So, but the reason why I mention that is that I pulled the most current rule book out, and I was looking at the number of pages of rules, and I could have sworn that back in the day this was a 40 plus page of rule book, and maybe I'm thinking of OCS, but 29 pages of rules. Probably one of the most succinctly worded, spare, and concisely worded rule books out there. It's fantastic. And while the rule book does lack a true index, it is not in color. It is on very nice paper, and the black and white font is very clear and very crisp. It's 3-column and all that sort of fun stuff. There's a few diagrams to help you get through the mental gymnastics of line of sight and doing planning and things like that. Yeah, I'll show you it. It's a typical page here, right? It's really nicely done. Anyway, just surprised me in how concise it was. And then I got to playing, and we had a couple of interesting things occur, which I'll talk about in a second. But then I realized that there were no battalion morale boxes for the units that I could see, and those that were there were none for the armor, which is a pretty significant oversight, unless it's missing from the box of the game that I purchased, the guy I purchased it from, although it was in mint condition. So I had to resort to actually go into the Vassal module, and I just scaled these up and printed them out, right? Put these down here for the battalion morale, for the tank formations and stuff like that. So no biggie. And a reason why in the third turn we're doing morale checks for tanks is because of the following. So we laid out plans for the Grosse Deutschland regiment, and we have 3rd Battalion coming down this direction with its supporting companies of infantry guns, AT guns, a machine gun company, and mortars, all kind of trailing behind. And the MGs have just moved up. They're moving up here, and they were coming into position. And the other formation that's attached here are the 16th Company, which is Stug 3. So there's 6 of them, and you apply 2 to each battalion, and they form a support force. Now, Stugs are not supposed to lead the way, and we know that, and the French know that, and the Germans know that, and I know that, and I still decided that it would be fun to try and sneak, inch one up and take a pot shot at these guys and see if we could suppress them, and then come in and close assault the infantry and just knock that hex out super quick in the first 4 turns type of thing. Well, AT assaults, anti-tank assaults, can be conducted as an overwatch, or what in other terms we would call a opportunity fire. And it's not that it's usually quite difficult to take out a step of tanks if you are an infantry unit in this game, but it's a little bit easier if you're on the road, if the tank's moving along the road, and it's even easier still if you're in partially protective terrain. So you only needed to roll a 7 or an 8, I think it was, and lo and behold, I rolled an 8, and this brave platoon knocked out the heroes of something of the Republic. They are indeed heroes of the Republic. So they knocked out their first tank. They are blooded. So we then decided that it would be best that we bring up some infantry. These guys moved up adjacent and flipped over to fire. These guys moved up adjacent and flipped to fire. He did overwatch fire on both of those units as well and put a step loss on this guy who saved on his morale roll. Morale of 3 is very good. So we were okay there. And I just realized something. That these guys don't have a morale of 3. These guys have a morale of 6. Well, over there, lucky for them. Okay. Same for these chappies here. So then 1st Battalion with the supporting Pioneer Company guarding the flank have orders to move down this road and attack Stone. They've got to get through these units first, and they're deploying to do so. And look, when we do these orders, right, there's an argument to say, oh, you said move from A to B and attack. That means that you're not going to be allowed to divert or do anything else. So when I wrote my orders up, I said, encounter any resistance along the way to your objective, you're eligible to deploy and take care of said interference. So we did that there. Over here, nothing too exciting going on there. The approach on the road there was slowed down, so we went around, laid some smoke down, trying to give the Germans a little bit of flexibility there. They've now deployed in the smoke, and they're looking for opportunities to shoot at these items here, or at least put more smoke or artillery rounds up on here. And I've just been messing around with the stack formations with the tanks to work out what's the best way to combine scout cars and these Panzer IIIs, because that's the number of steps when you're doing P fires or anti-armor AFV style fires. It's the number of steps that matters most, and then there's a differential based on a defense number and attack number, which here in this case is going to be 0. So you want to get the maximum number of steps you can against a given target. Anyway, so there's that. So that's going on there. And the fun little action was here. There was a couple little dinky armored car dudes down here, and they plinked away at the Panzer IIIs as they advanced, and then the Panzer IIIs and these 2 scout cars got into the woods here, and they took a shot and killed a unit, and then took what happened here. Yeah, they took a shot and killed 2 steps. So that's what happened there. So we've now sort of cleared a little bit of a route here, and the idea is that 2nd Battalion is going to actually be ordered to move down here and around and attack from the southeast. So we're going to come at Stone from 3 directions, and the idea, the plan is that Stone should fall relatively quickly. It's only 4:40 in the morning. The sun is just coming up. It's twilight. And we should clean out these weaker, low morale forces pretty darn quickly. And that will have then allow us to form up with this formation over on the left-hand side. The 3rd Battalion is going to push through and then set up a prepared defense of Stone, assuming they can get the sheet, the op sheet allocated quick enough. So lots of fun already. We're only 3 or 4 turns into it. It's all moving pretty quickly, and I really enjoy this system. It's a fine little game system. It's just would have been nice, for instance, with this one map, right? One mapper would have been nice to have a slightly larger map and have slightly larger hexes, so that we can manage our stacks a little better and things like that, or make it a 1.5 mapper or something like that. So. Anyway, me and my coffee will continue, and we've got just a few units left to move. And we'll check in with you again probably after we've done another 3 or 4 turns. Won't be a highly intensive AAR writing exercise. We'll just make some brief notes and take a few pictures here and there. We'll talk to you guys soon and hope you enjoy the video. Later.